I just had my 10X mentorship with Sherry Hamilton, the COO of Cardone Enterprises. I'm Rhea, and here are my 12 lessons learned on today's topic, From Zero to Hero. Lesson 1. You have to take responsibility as the business owner for onboarding your person. Lesson 2. Create a system so your new hire will be able to follow your system. Lesson 3. You have to make that role understandable and occupiable. Lesson 4. What does it mean? Your new hire person doesn't show up to a place of work that they've never been to in their lives and doing something that they're unfamiliar with equipment that they've never worked before, and with a company that they've never worked with before, with products that they're unfamiliar with, and suddenly they're a hero, a superstar. So it is your responsibility as a business owner to make that role you've just hired for able to be occupied, able to be learned, able to be duplicated. So lesson 5, create a path by which that happens, and it's really up to you as the business owner to do that. Lesson 6, how do you do it? What do I do in order to make a job that I've hired for something that somebody can assimilate? How do I set it up so that it's not making me crazy and taking all of my time and taking me completely off of my task of what I'm really supposed to be doing in order to bring this person on board? Lesson 7. Before you even post for the job, you want to outline the job duties and the functions of the job you hired. For example, you want to hire a receptionist. So, what do you want the receptionist to do? I want her to do the following. I want her to answer the phones. I want him or her to greet people. I want her to greet people at the events. I want him or her to do registration at events. I want them to do live chats with people. I want them to deal with vendors. I want him or her to be able to route the particles in the mail that comes appropriately. And I want them, him or her, to be able to route people appropriately. And very important, that they need to know how to deal with Uber Eats deliveries. Now for this same receptionist, how do I want that person to accomplish those functions? So, you want the receptionist to answer the phone. How do I want them to answer the phone? While the phone rings and they pick up the receiver and they say, "It's a great day at Grant Cardone's office. How may I direct your call? What can I get you information on?" But maybe you have to punch a button on the phone to answer the ringing phone. Or maybe if you're on another line, you have to know how to put that line on hold to answer the next line. Lesson 8. There is a how-to do something that needs to be detailed. Otherwise, your person is going to be totally and completely lost. Lesson 9. If I want a person in the reception to greet someone, how do I want them to greet them? Are they allowed in the reception area without being qualified at all? Am I going to say, "You cannot come inside unless I know who you're coming to see, unless I have you on the list"? Am I going to say, "What happens if you're on the phone and somebody comes in? How do I want you to deal with that one"? How do I prioritize what's most important? What should I say? And what's the best way to greet your customers? Lesson 10. So, there is a how. And if you don't tell them how you want it done, they will invent a way that they think it should be done based on nothing to do with you or your needs or your wants or your company or your client base. They will invent it as best as they can based on prior experience with totally unrelated businesses. Lesson 11. So, would you rather have them doing it the way you would like it done? Or would you rather just have them do it the way that they think it's best, with absolutely no knowledge of your business at all? Lesson 12. So, how are you going to communicate your way? That's onboarding training is. How will you communicate to your new person the way you want it to be done? So those are my 12 lessons learned. I hope you learned something. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and you can also download a free section of my book, Apartment Prescription: How Made from 0 to 50 Apartment Units in 7 Years. Take care and God bless.